So here are the answers for the Dota 2 contest. They are only for quiz 1, and they will be accompanied with explanations towards, why they are what they are. Now this one should be the obvious one, considering I had a Reign of Gaming thread on this, and that's where you could have found the answer for this one. The answer for question 1 was easily found on Reign of Gaming. It was probably one of the easiest ones, because I openly admitted to really liking Clannad. Clannad, I love the show. I love the anime. I believe it's a masterpiece and one of the best things I've ever watched. I laughed, I cried. I actually did cry tears. And I would recommend it to everybody. It's a slice of life anime, so there's no action or any of that stuff. It's, what would you say, a novella, a soap opera kind of deal. Though it's a very special kind. And there is a reason it was considered the #1 anime for a long time. So you should check it out and not be like Elements, who only saw a couple episodes and then realized, I don't want to watch this show anymore, being impatient and all. So give it a chance. And I will say, though, it does start off rather slow, but come that's kind of how animes tend to be that are slice of life. They use the first 2 episodes to introduce everything, and then, things kick off from there. So I would highly recommend it. And even then, in the sequel to it, Clannad After Story, is even better. It's what makes the whole thing good. The After Story is after Clannad. Clannad After Story comes second, and it's amazing. So I would recommend it. Now, the second anime, it's Cromartie High School. It's an award-winning anime, manga, and even live action TV show. It's really freaking good. It's satire, it's parody. It uses a lot of, literature formulas to, present irony and all that good stuff. It's a comedy, and the English voice acting is actually very good. I would say it's probably the best I've ever seen for an anime. The dub is good. And, it isn't what you would expect. It's freakishly, good. I know this is, I'm probably raising expectations, but you can find all the episodes on YouTube. Cromartie High, English, Japanese, with dubs, whatever the hell you want. If you want just a snippet of one of my favorite scenes, it's just put on YouTube, Cromartie High Internet Troll. That one is one of the best scenes of the entire anime. And I'll just tell you this, it's considered one of the smartest animes to ever be made. And even though it's weird as hell and just unusual, behind all that, be in between the lines, it is actually making you a smarter person. So I would definitely check that out. Oh, and Freddie Mercury, the lead singer from Queen, is also a freaking character in the anime. If that doesn't make it even more awesome, I don't know what does. The first one to use Zero Project for their music was Riven. The Riven in-depth video. You can still look it up, and it's still one of my favorite ones from Zero Project. I had to ask for special permission to use their music, but now I get to use it whenever I want. These answers could have easily been found by searching. It actually just said nostalgia as a clue. Click that on the search bar, and 3 videos come out that show all these. I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Quite casually, mostly using the light deck to abuse everything. And Pokemon too, yeah, but that was mostly when I was a child, and I mostly played the Game Boy game. Never really played, with the actual rules. Who did? Now, Magic the Gathering, I really liked it. I made decks of all sorts and just kept tinkering with that. I mostly just played casually with friends, but we were kind of serious about it versus each other, so we spent money on improving the decks. Anyways, my favorite color is white. I like using whites and, hoarding people, white weenies, or whatever those are called, whatever term you'd want to call that. And soldier-themed decks are always my favorite because, I like being thematic, and soldiers are always the easiest and coolest to imagine slashing your opponent apart. Now, this next card game is called Legend of the Five Rings, one that very few people have ever heard about, and the one no one actually answered on the quiz. I wouldn't blame them, though. It was probably my favorite one to actually play, but very few people played it, so it died out. If you're interested in it, you can just Wikipedia it. It's too complicated to explain in a short video. I fucking love Malzahar, and I fucking hate Nidalee. Both Annie and Jarvan are acceptable, as I overlooked the fact that even though I only played about one game with Annie, I never died. And I played the majority with Jarvan, and I died 1.9 times out of all those games I played with him, so. Now, this question is not to say that, oh man, I'm so awesome, I'm smarter than everybody else. No. It's just, I tend to take a stance of wait and see, take everything into account, and don't toss off things until, you have a good idea of what you're actually talking about. Because a lot of people, even professionals, tend to do this a lot. Maokai is a great example. Remember, I had him in tier 1 for a while, and people questioned it, and it's not like, he's a great invader, he's a great, badass, and it was during the Season 1 jungle before it was remade. Then even on State of the League, I mentioned that TSM is going to use Maokai in the jungle, and he's going to be pretty badass, that he's really strong, and it's just, no one really gives him a chance. Hell, even, certain players knocked him off, like say, oh, he's a terrible character, blah, blah, blah. But, look at where he is now. None of this is to take any credit from M5, but because even I didn't put her up in tier 1 until after they exposed her and all that good stuff. It's to say that I already told people how to actually play her, and it is pretty much how M5 says before M5 showed people. Remember, you can look up my videos before, they're dated way before M5 used Shyvana, and they're like, look at there, like you can see November and October videos. This, I always taught her off as an invasive jungler. Yeah, her ganking sucked, and some people are stupid enough to go, Stonewall, you can't say her ganking sucks, M5 uses her. No, her ganking's awful. They don't use her as a ganker jungler. They use her as a control jungler. So, with that being said, Shyvana's definitely a character that people would underestimate a lot and not use her properly, and then just say, oh, she's a terrible character. It's just they didn't exercise, the character's full strengths or acknowledge what she's actually good at and experimented with her or whatever. I knew beforehand, and I got ridiculed sometimes for defending the character. And I know certain other pro players also got, laughed at, and even somebody who supported Maokai, when everybody laughed at him, laughed at Shyvana, so it's kind of funny and ironic. Now, Trundle has never been buffed and never been changed, and when he was released, he was very underwhelming to people, and everyone wrote him off as just being crap, and he stopped existing. But I realized, holy crap, this guy is incredibly sustained, and people realized that when I uploaded the level 6 path with Trundle, which is one path I actually didn't take, he, fully sustained with Vampiric Scepter, when doing that was very character specific. Not every character could do that way. He was amazing, and eventually people figured out, holy crap, Trundle's a fucking badass. And I was toting that story since the very beginning. That I tried him out, and I was just amazed at how strong he was. And this was before leashing, and being super sustained and super fast before leashes were available was a big deal. So Trundle, I immediately knew Trundle was awesome. I wrote a small guide on him. People gave him a chance, and he's just gone, his little whole underused, underrated side right now. He's got his uses, just no one's giving him a shot again. He may come, he may go. I don't think they need to really buff him. If just give him an animation fix on his ultimate, but whatever. He's one of those cases of people just, wrote him off really quickly, while I tried telling people, nah, you gotta give this guy a chance. Now, my favorite one, and the one that most people got correctly, was Udyr. Remember, I had him tier 1 of 1 for a very long time. And people made fun of me. This was before before he was using tournaments. They would say, oh, Udyr's terrible, he sucks, he's unusable, he's garbage, blah blah blah. And I kept saying, he's awesome. Then they buff Tiger, and some people start using him, but they still say he's crap, and then they say Stonewall, you're stupid, it should be Phoenix. I support Phoenix, then they buff Phoenix, and then there's arguments back and forth about every fucking thing. Remember, I kept saying Phoenix Udyr is awesome, Tiger Udyr is awesome too, but Phoenix is better. I kept using it. Number 1 of tier 1 is where he should be. He's fucking powerful, blah blah blah. And like ever since Locket got nerfed, people just underrated the damn character. But no, it wasn't like that. Udyr was still awesome. They just wouldn't give him a chance. Hell, a pro player, which I won't name, actually added me on the game just to tell me it's very stupid that I have Udyr in tier 1 of 1. So it's like, why would he care for starters if I'm a nobody? And like, it's my list, and I firmly believed that Udyr is number 1. Then remember, then Jad busted him out in the tournament after I helped. Well, he did most of the work, but I did tinker with him, go on runs with him, and just say like, this is my opinions on the build. Hell, elements and several others used it too, and it worked off great. And then people will realize, holy crap, Udyr's fucking awesome. Jet revived him. Yeah, Jet may have revived him in the competitive scene because he actually had a foot in the competitive scene. But I was toting Udyr around. This is not to undervalue Jet's contribution to bring him out. I'm just saying, once more, people didn't give a champion a goddamn chance. And holy crap, did he end up getting nerfed because people didn't realize just how fucking powerful Udyr was all this freaking time, and well deserving of his number 1 spot in the jungle tier list. Jarvan, Master Yi, and Lee Sin. Now this one's the fun one. The tip was so IQ'd with Stonewall. If you were to Google that or put that on the search thread for League of Legends, an interesting thread will pop out. And I don't want to spoil it even in this video. I think you guys should check it out. And head to page 2 immediately. And you might have some fun with that. The players in that team, it was called No Problem by the way, were myself, Messiah, Caraface, the Nubologist, Womps, Tomato Bisque, and we had a few offshoots at a few times that never really got into the team. And yeah, this band of the team is a whole nother story. 2 answers were acceptable, either Tomato Bisque or Reuse. It's actually supposed to be the Stonewall is a shepherd of of people with Down syndrome, and the person who said that was Doublelift. He said, "I'm the shepherd of people with Down syndrome," and I replied, "So I guess Doublelift thinks I'm Jesus." So you heard it here first. Doublelift thinks I'm Jesus.